Good morning, Bill here. Hopefully you had a good vacation, some good time off. I've had a chance to look at the website, and I like a lot of the changes that are going on. Um, I want to get you paid, at least pay the $2,000 invoice that we owe you, but there's two things that need to happen before I can do that. They're not big things, but um, let me talk about those first. So, uh, items 4 and 11 are the ones that we need to discuss. It looks like we've made great progress there on that. Um, right now, the let's just pick a number quick. Okay, so right now, if you hit the buy images, all for 65, uh, it does what it's supposed to do. Um, but the problem was that it didn't deliver the images for download after I released the order, approved the order in the management section. So it's not quite working as it's supposed to. Um, the other item, item 4, um, being able to change the price of individual prints. Um, there's no mechanism in the back end to change the pricing, which is something that we routinely do, so I need to have that functionality. But as we were looking at it, there's on each one of these sections here, the digital print, or the digital, the print, the packages, um, there's no continuity between how the pages are set up. Um, as you see on the print page, um, it has this look with no boxes or buttons, so it almost looks like it's just print on a paper. You don't know, the customer doesn't know really to click on anything, versus the package page is very clear. You push this green button to conclude your purchase or to add this to your cart. This is, we like the way that this is set up. We would like it the same way on all 3 pages um, to complete the purchase. Um, so maybe set this one up instead of this, where this big bold print, full resolution, add to cart, have this a little bit smaller and a green button here where it says purchase. Um, same thing here. Uh, order one 4x6 with a green button, or for 12.99, and then a green button to purchase. That way, all the pages have the same continuity in the flow and the look, so the users aren't confused by um, changes in how each page looks. Hopefully that makes sense. Um, okay, so if we can do those things, we're fabulous. We'll pay the invoice, no problems, and we'll move ahead. Now, as I was going through the other day, uh, we found some things that we'd like to change. Um, we also discovered a few flow problems, maybe because things aren't quite finished or not where they're supposed to be just yet. So let me talk about some of the changes that were made already. Let me go to the home page. Um, it's moving slow. Oops. So, all right. So here at the home page, we want to change this color of the yellow to a gold that gives us the same the color code here. So, or if you give me the access, I'll change it. We want gold as our theme. We are the gold standard, so we like gold a lot. I'd like to increase the size of the logo over here because to me it's very hard to see. You can't read anything on it, so if we can increase the size of that, that would be fabulous. I actually put this logo here, I embedded it into the image, so just to see how it looks. But the logo here that carries throughout the site, I'd like to see that a little bit bigger if we could. Additionally, we had talked about opening the image up, making it bigger, and getting rid of this dead space at the bottom of the page throughout the site. This serves no purpose. So if we can just open up the image, there's plenty of extra image up above this, so it should be able to open up and fill the page if we could. That would be awesome. All right. Okay, so I actually did some testing the other day, um, just looking at some of the changes that Ruma talked about, and I wanted to play with it and see how it flowed from a user point. So I'm going to go to Malibu, and I'm going to type in bib number 1184. Alrighty. So, if we go now to, it's been a couple of days, so I may have forgotten, the buy all function here. And if you proceed to checkout, it allows you to do the purchase, and it holds the order in waiting for approval. Once you complete the order and I went to approve it, it sent me an email. Let me just get that real quick. So it sent me an email that shows that I've done the order. It was $65. There is no download link connected to the email. I didn't see any method to download it, so I just got, and even after it approved, I didn't get a second email. So there's no mechanism for the customer to download the images. There's a little box that was on the receipt, but it doesn't do anything. I don't know what that box is supposed to do, and there's no instructions that I saw for downloading. So this is not working as it's supposed to just yet. Additionally, there's a typo here in the address that it says your billing details. Billing is misspelled. And then I did the same thing with another digital download order for a package of 3, which is here. Same thing occurred, so I got 3 digital, or no, maybe this was more. I'm sorry, this was the order for the 65. Same thing, though there's no mechanism to download the photos that I could find. So anyway, we need to get that where it's working. Now keep in mind that the only digital order that requires my approval is if they buy the $65 package, and that's because it's very easy to abuse and just try to add every picture that you can, all your favorites, so on and so forth. So if somebody went in and had 50 favorites in their file and then they clicked on buy all photos, they could get that for one price. So I need a way to manage that and control it, and that's where we want to have the control. If they're buying a package of 3 digitals or a single digital or 5 digitals, I don't care what they buy, so it requires no approval on my end. Okay. Okay, so some other things that I saw. I'm going to go back to find my events, and I'm going to go to find my event. Find my event. It's not taking me to find my event. Okay, we'll go there. We'll do it the hard way. Okay, so why is this happening? Find my event, and I'm not being able to find my... Oh, I know why. Because I have an item in my cart. That could be a problem in the future. We may have to think about that. Alright, so I'm going to go to HITS Triathlon, and I'm going to choose bib number 2815. Okay, so here's one image that came up. Now, just in case somebody clicked on this buy all my images for $65, something happens here. Now it takes me to this big blank page with all this empty space underneath it. I have no idea what happened or how I got here, but obviously I don't think that's supposed to happen. Then let's go back a page. Okay, and we're gonna go here. So if I'm here to I have no mechanism from here to look for any additional images through lost and found galleries. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. So I do have the ability to look at lost and found, but I want to change this title to lost and found categories, or yeah, we'll probably just leave it at that, lost and found categories. But as you go here, let's click on gray swim caps, and I hit search. Nothing happens, or it says nothing's available. If I go to, maybe that's confusing it, so now I'm just going to search gray swim caps. Again, it says that there are no photos in that gallery. But if I go back to the search and I click on gray swim caps, there are indeed photos in that gallery. So the searchability from here is not working as it's supposed to. Okay, in Ruma's last video, she had added a logo. Let me see if I can find the right page here. Maybe it's that one. Okay, she added for a single logo in the center, but what I really like is to have all of, again, continuity throughout the website. Let's go to Santa Rosa, and on this one we have the double logos. I'd like to have that same look on every page, so when I ask for logo, let's not create a new style. Let's stick with what's consistent throughout the website, whether it's free or not. We have these logos on the side, whatever what we choose to, and I'd like to have the ability to have these logos um, uh, separate. So if I choose to have the event logo on this side and maybe a sponsor logo on this side, um, we can do that, or I can set it up where they're both the same. But the flexibility to do that, I can see many events in the future where that would be needed, where there's double sponsors or the event logo and a sponsor logo. Um, so if we can make those separate, that would be awesome. But throughout, whether it's paid or not paid, I'd like to have um, the two logo look up here. I think that would be a much better look throughout the site. Then additionally, this area, um, rather than have a static, unchangeable message, I'd like to have this as a text box where I can create text or message to the users that's unique to each event, um, because quite often we have new events that have completely different search mechanisms, and we need to explain to a customer how they can find their stuff, and this would be a great place to communicate that message. Sometimes they may not be sponsored by sponsors. Sometimes they are sponsored or paid for by sponsors. So I can see where this message is going to have to change every time, or very commonly. So I'd like to be able to do that. As we were looking through it, um, your first, because we're looking all in this area at photos, then you see this box up here which looks like a search field, even though it's for the digital certificate or the finisher certificate. We were several times we were confused and kept trying to type in a search number here. So what we wanted to do was enclose all of this, and I'll send you a sample of what I'm talking about, to make this an enclosed or in a little box, um, so as not to be confused by the actual search field. And then we need to have a search field for the lost and found galleries up here. So I'm going to send you a mock-up that we did of how we'd like to see the page look. Um, but and keep in mind that we're not just willy-nilly making changes to the website. This is an evolutionary process, and we're adding things, we understand that, and we're changing some things that we had previously approved, but we're doing it because we see it throughout the workflow and the searching. So bear with us, we're making great progress. One of the things that I had mentioned, I think in the last correspondence, was over here that these images in the shopping cart area were being cropped, or not being displayed properly. This is being cropped, so all I see is a head, when if you look at the image there's a whole bunch more than just a head. So I would like, vertical, horizontal. I would like it so the customer can see the whole image over here, and I find these are a little bit too small. Can we make those somewhat larger? We have quite a bit of page over here and down here to work with, but we're restricting it to this little tiny area. So if we can open that up, that would be fabulous, so they're more of a manageable view, and then I'd like to be able to see, or the customer to be able to see more of what the whole image looks like. So if we could do that, that would be great.